Hello everyone, welcome back to English class. Dear students, today we are going to start a new lesson from the book Honeycomb. The name of the lesson is The Story of Cricket, last chapter, chapter number 10. Okay, today we will cover part 1 of the lesson, and in this lesson we are going to read about the history of the story. Okay, so let's talk about the author first. Ramchandra Guha is an Indian writer whose research interests include environmental, social, economics, political, contemporary, and cricket history. He is also a columnist for the Telegraph, Hindustan Times, and he had written many good books for India. Okay, and here is the picture of the author. So, if I talk about this lesson, then in this chapter of the story of cricket takes us inside the world of cricket. It begins by telling us all about the history of the sport and how it came into existence. It is one of the earliest forms of the game in which people in England play with a ball and a bat. The story will also define the terms like bat and more for a better understanding of the sport. It will also take us through how the game has evolved from the yesteryears to the present. And finally, it also explains the modern cricket and the use of technology in the sport. So let's get started with the chapter, The Story of Cricket. You can find on page number 139, or page number may be vary. So before you read, it is given in the book. Sport is an integral part of a healthy life. It is one way in which we amuse ourselves, compete with each other, and stay fit. Among the various sports such as hockey, football, and tennis, cricket appears to be the most appealing national entertainment today. How much do we really know about the game called cricket? Everybody knows that cricket is like the national game, but it is not. But we like it very much, and cricket is the most appealing game in this India. Okay, and obviously you all have played cricket at your schools also, and uh, I hope you all know all about the cricket, means the rules, the grounds, the pitch, the stumps, the players. Okay, all these things are known to you, but still, how they evolved. Okay, and how what was their structure in the history. We are going to talk about that only. So I'm going to read out the first para first. So please look at your books and listen carefully. Cricket grew out of the many stick and ball games played in England 500 years ago. The word bat is an old English word that simply means stick or club. By the 17th century, cricket had evolved enough to be recognizable as a distinct game. Till the middle of the 18th century, bats were roughly the same shape as hockey sticks, curving outwards at the bottom. There was a simple reason for this. The ball was bowled underarm along the ground, and the curve at the end of the bat gave the batsman the best chance of making contact. Okay, so in this para, first of all, they are talking about the bad ball games. Okay, so according to this, cricket grew out of the many stick and ball games. Means 500 years ago, before 500 years, many ball games, stick and ball games have been played in cricket, and bat means a stick or a club. Okay, and if we talk about 17th century, by the 17th century means 1698, 1626. So in in those century, cricket had evolved enough to be recognizable as a distinct game. Only in the 16th 17th century it got identification from all games, and it got distinct game, different game. We started recognizing it till the middle of the 18th century, and in 17th century it started getting recognition. And after till the middle of 18th century, middle of the 18th century means 1750, approximately 1770, bats were roughly the same shape as hockey sticks. Now everybody knows what is the shape of the hockey stick. Okay, so in that shape only, the in the middle of the 18th century they were used bat. Okay, in the shape of hockey sticks, right, and curving outwards at the bottom. And the reason was that ball mostly roll along the path. Okay, so that's the way, means it was the easiest task to touch the ball with the bat with the help of the curved shape, because ball always moves on the path only, not in the air. Okay, so above along the ground, and the curve at the end of the bat give the batsman the best chance to contact it, to hit the ball. Okay, so that's why the reason behind the shape of the bat is the, because batsman got the best chance of making contact. Next, one of the peculiarities of cricket is that a test match can go on for 5 days and still end in a draw. No other modern team sports take even half as much time to complete. A football match is generally over in an half and a half, and even baseball completes 9 innings in less than half the time that it takes to play a limited overs match, the shortened version of modern cricket. Now they are comparing the time of cricket with the other type of games. Okay, so one of the peculiarities, means features of cricket, is that a test match can go, everybody knows the timing of the test match, 5 days. Okay, so it can go for the 5 days test, right? 5 days, and obviously the result can be draw, means neither a team lose or win. And yes, recently in England, I think India had played very good and also played a draw match. Draw match means a result of a game in which neither side wins or loses. So in this way, it goes for 5 days and still results in draw. And but not any other team sports game, either it is football, hockey, baseball, any kind of game take this kind of time, right? So according to them, a football match generally take an hour and a half, right? Means 1.5. Okay, only 90 minutes game. Similarly, baseball completes its 9 innings in less than the half time. Means modern cricket, a shortened version of modern cricket, means 2020 match. Okay, 2020 match takes uh, 3 hours, right? 3 to 3.5, right? So half time, only half time can be taken by the baseball match. Okay, so according to them, test match takes 5 days, but any other game not took takes only 1 day. Okay, only some hours, and they just complete their matches. Okay, this is the shape of the bat in the recent time. The oldest cricket bat in existence, not the curved end similar to the hockey stick. This was the shape of the bat in the 18th century. Okay, right. Next. Another curious characteristic of cricket is that the length of the pitch is specified 22 yards, but the size or shape of the ground is not. Most other team sports, such as hockey and football, lay down the dimensions of the playing area. Cricket doesn't. Grounds can be oval, like the Athletic Oval, or nearly circular, like Chepauk in Chennai. A six at the Melbourne Cricket Ground needs to clear much more ground than it does at Firozshah Kotla in Delhi. Okay, now in this para they are talking about the grounds. Okay, so other characteristics, other feature of cricket is that the length of the pitch is specified 22 yards. Everybody knows the pitch. Okay, rest of the part is green color, but the pitch is of 22, sorry, brown color. Okay, on which the batsman and the bowler plays the, yes, play the main game. Okay, means bowler bowled the ball, and just batsman hit the ball. So the length is 22 yards, and the size of the ground is not specific. Means dimensions means a plate with a pattern. What is the meaning of dimensions? Means length, breadth, etc. Okay, so if we talk about the dimensions or the ground, it is not specified for the cricket. It could be of oval shape, like in Adelaide. Australia. And similarly, if we talk about Chennai's ground, it is in circular shape. And Melbourne cricket ground, some grounds are very large grounds, some are smaller, and only because of that their games could be changed. Okay, so the ground's shape is not specified yet. This is the another characteristics feature. Next, there is a historical reason behind both these oddities. Oddities means these different features, strange things. So what was the historical reason? Cricket was the earliest modern team sport to be codified. Codified means they wanted to make the code of conduct, laws, writing laws. Okay, the first written laws of cricket were drawn up in 1744. This stated the principals shall choose from amongst the gentlemen present two umpires who shall absolutely decide all disputes. The stumps must be 22-inch high and the ball bail across them 6 inches. The bail must be between 5 and 6 ounces, and the ball must be between 5 and 6 ounces, and the two sets of stumps 22 yards apart. So these were the written rules about the game. Which game? Yes. What was that? It gave the empire the power to resolve any disputes. Everybody knows in the field there are two empires. Okay, so they got the responsibility, they got the power to resolve the disputes, and it specified the stumps to be 22 inches high, three stumps, three and three, six stumps there of white color, so the length is of 22 inches, and the bales across them to be 6 inches. Three bales were there of 22 inches high. Okay, and the bale, the ball weight, the weight of the ball about 6 to 5 to 6 inches or ounces, and the distance between the two sets of stumps were 22 yards. Two sets of stumps will be 22 yards at the distance, and these were the rules which were written about the cricket. The world's first cricket club was formed in Hambleton in 1760. Cricket Club first in 1760, and the Merely Born Cricket Club (MCC) was found in 1787. You have to remember these names. Okay, so Hambleton formed in Hambleton in 1760 and MCC in 1787. And during the 1760 and 77, it became common to pitch the ball through the air rather than roll it along the ground. Before that, in mid of the 18th century, we have read that they move the ball along the ground, but now it is the trend to ball through the air. Nowadays we are like from the upper side. Okay, so air rather than roll it along the ground, so they finished this method also. This change gave bowlers options of length deception through the air. Okay, means if one person is bowling from the air, obviously it gives chance to the batsman to hit the ball better, right, in a better way. And deception through the air means the ball is no longer rolled along the ground but sent through the air, hence the possibility, variety or deception in bowling. Means everybody knows, means the ball is going to be spin and it a fast ball, and bouncer is there. Okay, so these all the varieties of ball through air. Plus increased pace means speed. Okay, it also open new possibilities for spin and swing. These are the all types of balls. Okay, and in response batsman had to master timing and shot selection. Wow, if the batsman had good timing, obviously it can hit the shot six. Okay, and bad timing means out, right? So with the help of these changing in ball, a batsman and bowler got different opportunities, right? One immediate result was the replacement of the curved bat with the straight one. Okay, as we were reading that the shape of the bat was like a hockey stick, but as the bowler started bowling through the air, okay, so the first change was in the shape of the bat. Now they were using the straight one, flattened bats, right? The weight of the ball was limited to between 5.5 to 5.34 ounces. Okay, so this is the weight of the ball, and the width of the bat to 4 inches. right? In 1774, the first leg before law was published. Okay, the first leg before law, first leg before, first leg before. Uh, Everybody knows which is the point of leg before. So this rule was published in 1744, right? So also around this time, a third stump became common. Another new change was there in this time, means what was that? A third stump. By 1783, days had become the length of a major match, and this year also saw the creation of the first six same cricket ball, right? So similarly, by 1780, what was the change? The matches were played for around 3 days, and the first six same bowl was also created in the same time. So during these times, different changes have taken places. Okay, year to year there was a change, and you can see the picture, and the picture gives the pavilion of the Melbourne Cricket Club, MCC, in 1874. You can see the picture, right? If you look at the games equipment, you can see how cricket balls changed with the changing times, and yet fundamentally remained true to its origin in rural England. Cricket's most important tools are the made of natural pre-industrial material, and the bat is made with leather, twine, and cork. Even today, bat and ball are handmade, not industrially manufactured. See, in this para, they are talking about the equipments and the material they are using. Okay, means you can see how cricket ball change with the changing times, but still it is original to in the rural England, right? It's somehow it was completely the most important equipment associated with the cricket continues to be handmade still today. The most important thing is that most of the important tools are still made of natural pre-industrial material, and they are handmade. And for example, the bat is made with the leather, twine, and cork. These were the material we used for the bat. Okay, and not industry manufactured, and they are handmade. Still handmade means they are preparing with the hand, not with the machines. Okay, and the material of the bat changed slightly over time, but change is little bit changes is there with the material of the bat. And once it was cut out of a single piece of wood, before time it was cut out of a single piece of wood, but nowadays it has blades. Okay, now it consists of two pieces. The piece of wood, now it consists of two pieces: the blade, which is made out of the wood of the willow tree. This is the name of the tree, part of the tree. And with this, two blades have been cut, and then now after that it was pasted. And the handle, which is made out of cane, that became unavailable as European colonists and trading companies established themselves in Asia. Okay, so now they are talking about the bats manufacturing. Okay, so the bats are handmade of cork, leather, and twine. And obviously, before that time, it was of single cut off piece, but now it consists of two blades, right? And the handle is of cork. And unlike golf and tennis, cricket has refused to remake its tool with industrial or man-made material. Plastic, fiberglass, and metals have been firmly rejected. In cricket, these plastics, fiberglass, and metals are completely rejected. Means other games are using these kind of material, but cricket is not using. They are still using the old type of material, man-made materials. They have just ready, they are using the natural things, they are not using the man-made material. But in the matter of protective equipments, cricket has been influenced by technological changes. But if it was the bat and ball which were made which are made by hand. But now if we talk about the protective equipments, which includes pads, gloves, etc., so they have used the technological changes. And the invention of vulcanized rubber led to the introduction of pads in 1848 and protective gloves soon afterwards. And the modern game would be unimaginable without helmets made out of metal and synthetic lightweight materials. Means they have changed the material of the helmet, the gloves, and the pads. Okay, so synthetic material like vulcanized rubber, etc., are used, because these materials, these equipments must be in a very light manner, obviously, so that the if the batman is wearing all these things, then he should not to feel weight on his body. Okay, so what is they have used all these things with the light weighted material, also very strong, means they are protecting them. Okay, so here, okay, so in this part we have read about the history, in which we are talking about the, yes, how the bat has been evolved, how the ball has been evolved, how the law has been codified, and obviously the material they are using for making their equipments, means ball and bat are still handmade, right? But the equipments, in equipments they are using their technology. Okay, I hope you all have understood the lesson. Thank you so much.